All right, so we got a report from ESPN that LSU has been ignoring sexual assault complaints against their football players. This was documented by Alex Scarborough, an ESPN staff writer. Um, and apparently they've been ignoring sexual assault allegations made against former running back Darius Gase and other players, and players who were found responsible for sexual assault. Um, were responsible and were allowed to stay on campus. Now, with that said, there was also reports that former wide receiver Drake Davis by an LSU tennis player, including the allegation that the victim's tennis coach Mike Sell was informed that Davis had punched a woman in the stomach, but did not report the assault to the school or the Title IX coordinator. The report states that LSU sat on the information for months while Davis continued to assault and strangle her. So this is very, very disturbing. You know what I mean? Mario, I'll let you take the floor on this one because this is a very disturbing topic, and I want to see what you think.
Yeah, I mean, this is unacceptable. It is,
It
and I
really
remember,
is.
and the thing is, like, I remember Darius guys coming into the league, and I remember him at combine because I definitely remember this guy, and I thought to myself, I was like, this dude's so talented, he really is, and I listened to him speak, and I'm like, he's a professional, he's so professionally well spoken too, and like I'm looking at it, I'm like, and he never really got to be what like I thought he could have been. But after hearing all this, dude, LSU should have did something, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like I mean, this I remember last year for my English project, I did a research paper on do athletes receive more special treatment when it comes to like crimes. I can't remember the actual title, and I actually did research and everything like that. And honestly, I didn't. And honestly, I think they kind of do. To be honest, they have more money because then I remember like one thing that people don't notice is that they actually have like NFL lawyers actually help them with certain types of stuff. So like
Right.
they are paid, like they do get certain types of lawyers, and they are connected to certain types of lawyers to help them with these types of situations. So when it comes to that part, they are heavily favored under the law. And like they say it like justice is blind, but clearly when it comes to athletes, they're not. So here's my question. Okay, you receive these allegations by multiple people.
Mm.
Okay, not I think there were 9 football players. But how many? Help me out here. 4 or 9.
Yep. I think there was nine. Yeah.
There were 9 athletes. Okay, that have received complaints against them. You didn't look into this at all. No, you did actually. Excuse me. You knew that they were held responsible, and you let them continue playing. And I didn't hear any about this when before Darius guys got into the league. I'm looking at Darius guys do the combine. I'm looking at his LSU highlights. I'm listening to him speak, and I'm like, this is such a well educated man. This is such a very skillful and talented athlete. We never heard anything about this. He's been in the league for probably 2 or 3 years now. We
I
haven't
want
heard
to say
anything
I
about
want to
this.
say something because it 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 bothers me more that these players had sexual assault claims on them and they got to go to the NFL. Most of them
Absolutely.
did. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what disturbs me the most because you had this background and you weren't penalized, but you got to go to the NFL with those allegations on you, and not a damn word was said about that. It reminds me of favoritism, to be honest. I don't want to say it is,
It
but it
absolutely is.
reminds me of that concept.
And going to the other one, Drake Davis. He did it against another LSU athlete, but because he plays football, and I guarantee you, football is more of a popular sport in LSU than it is in than tennis is. Again, he gets away with this type of stuff. And
Yeah,
let me explain something about Drake Davis. I'm reading this on the article right now. So in 2018, Drake was arrested on second-degree battery charges and was indefinitely suspended by the team. Okay.
mhm.
The arrest warrant said that Davis, who enrolled at the Southern University in October of 2019, was alleged to have committed battery on a woman he was dating on 4 occasions over the period of roughly 13 months.
That's ridiculous.
It's unacceptable. I
It's
mean,
absolutely unacceptable.
U.S. Today reported that like at least 9 football players, including Geis and Davis, had been reported to police for sexual misconduct and dating violence since Ed Orgeron was promoted to interim head coach in 2016. Orgeron was later promoted to full head coach. We all know that. And then I think this was Orgeron. I think this was Orgeron's statement. He said, yeah, this is his statement. He wanted to address the US Today article. And this is what the head coach of LSU said. He said, first, I want to say that we need to support and protect victims of violence and sexual abuse of any kind. There's no place in our society, nor on this campus or on our football program, for any behavior of this type. When accusations are made, we have a legal and moral obligation to report every allegation to the university's Title IX office so due process can be implemented. I have in the past and will continue to take appropriate action and comply with reporting protocols. I have confidence today that the university is working to address our policies and processes with allegations arise. And then closes his argument by his statement by saying, that is all I'm going to say at this time. So, but I'm confused. I'm definitely confused. Because according to you, you got the notes saying they were in your notes. I'm pretty sure it said they were held responsible, right?
Right.
And nothing happened.
Wait, I'm confused. Did the coach know about these or no?
That's what I'm saying. Well, I was reading yours, but I can't really see in the article where it says the players were held responsible. Do you know exactly?
It was on the ESPN one. They said that.
Yeah, I'm on the ESPN one myself, but I can't see where it says it.
I think it's the third or fourth paragraph down says it.
Um,
Says the report also cites 3 cases in which football players were found responsible for sexual assault and were allowed to stay on
okay,
campus.
okay, yeah. The report also cites 3 cases in which football players were found responsible for sexual assault and were allowed to stay on campus, receiving deferred suspensions, which amounts in probation. Okay, so maybe they didn't. The only thing I could think of was like maybe the other 3 cases had nothing to do with Darius Geis.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Maybe they
still
found out about this
unacceptable.
later.
It's still unacceptable.
It still is. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
wait. Did the coach know about any of these allegations or no?
He knew about it. He knew about the allegations. He knew about the allegations. They were suspended, but there's nothing in here that talks. He doesn't really mention Geis. That's the thing. He doesn't mention Darius
Yeah,
Geis himself. Because the reason why that's so important is because Darius Geis was the one that got into the NFL. The
yeah,
other guys, they obviously didn't get into the NFL. They were obviously suspended, but Darius Geis is the big one because he was the one who went to the NFL.
yeah,
Or he was the one. Well, I mean, Davis did too, but Darius Geis was probably a little bit of a bigger name than Drake Davis. So with
yeah.
that being said, that's the one thing I'm hesitant about is if Ed Orgeron knew about Darius Geis and what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Well, given that it says that he's not that they don't whether they don't know that he did know about it or not. I gotta say, if he really didn't know about it, he should be ashamed of his workers. Because let me explain something to you. If you had a player with those kind of allegations on you and you were clueless, but other people knew about it and they see that you coached that player and you let him play that game, you know how bad that makes you look as a coach. But like
Right.
at the same time, that's not his fault because he didn't know about it while others did. You know what I mean? That's what really disturbs me. If it would disturb me even more if that was proven to be true, if he didn't know or not.
Absolutely. But like, I mean, it's me. My problem isn't so much on like,
The fact
it's
that
not
they
on
let him
Ed
go to the
Orgeron's
NFL.
actions. It's on my problems are not on Ed Orgeron's actions. It's on Ed Orgeron's what it's statement. You know,
My
because you
problem, my
mentioned his
problem,
state.
my problem with this
Well,
and what really irks me,
let
and
me
I said it in the beginning, is that they let him go in the NFL knowing that he had this kind of history. It's
well, that's the
unacceptable. You know what I mean?
right. Well, absolutely. That's the thing. See, well, the other thing is, hey, my problem is what Ed Orgeron said. I'll get to
All right.
that first, and I'll get to your statement second. So, what Ed Orgeron said, right? Like, you make this statement, but if you knew about this, like, it's, I don't know, it's tough, man. It really is. Like I because he's not the one that can suspend them. You know what I'm saying? Ed
Yeah.
Orgeron can't be like, well, you're suspended. It's got to be LSU itself. And they did that too. And then the suspension was up. But the thing is, let me explain something to you. They were allowed to stay on campus, right? Now let me ask you something. If this was a regular student and they got reported about this, would they stay on campus?
They would get kicked off immediately. They let this
Absolutely,
they
because you're a football player.
Yeah, let
You're
the
allowed to
star
stay on campus.
athlete stay on campus because he's the star athlete.
Don't get me wrong. I love football. Don't get me wrong. I love it.
Yeah,
But if I find out one of the damn students, I don't care who they are, is involved in that type of stuff on campus, you're getting kicked out. And the other thing I want to get back to is like he let them play. Well, I understand what you're saying with that. The only problem with that is maybe like the only thing I could think of is maybe at the time they didn't have enough evidence to prove it.
yeah,
You know,
right.
they let them stay. But
But the reason
sometimes,
why I said that is because people don't care if you want, like these days, people don't care if you have the evidence or not. If they hear that this person is labeled as this, or they were involved in sexual assault charge, they're gonna think you're a sexist, or they're gonna think you're an aggressor, a menace to society, and things like that. A lot of people these days don't care about the evidence; they care about what you were labeled as in terms of what you were involved in. You know what I mean?
right? I mean, like honestly, this is a very tough situation, you
Yeah,
know.
it is.
And like I when I heard it was Darius Geis, I knew Darius Geis got into like a little bit of problems. I could not see him sexually abusing someone. Now I'm not saying he didn't do it, you know.
Yeah,
Okay. Obviously they took responsibility for it, so most likely signs are pointing to that he has done it. But what I'm saying is like it's such a tough situation. I think that a lot of athletes, I think they do receive special treatment. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really do.
yeah,
And
right.
so obviously the thing with Antonio Brown with his case, but obviously like we look at him now and he's on the Tampa Bay Bucks, he looks like he's doing a better job than the first time
Yeah,
around. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not saying guys can't change. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that at all. You know, I believe everybody can change. You know, I believe everybody makes mistakes and they can change. But I do also believe that LSU itself, not just the football team, but itself, could have done a way better job than what they did. And
absolutely.
honestly, Darius Geis, he's lucky that they didn't. Because if they did, most likely Darius Geis wouldn't even have gotten
Wouldn't even
drafted.
get exactly. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
He probably wouldn't even got signed. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't look good that you used to be a football player and then you got kicked off the school for sexual abuse. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, right.
Well, he's lucky that they didn't handle it the way they did. And remember this, Darius Geis was a second round pick, too. He was a second
Yeah,
round pick. I think he should have been a first round pick in that draft. I think he was that talented in LSU. Okay? I think he was very professional. He was a second round pick, man. Just remember that. Second round. That's very high. Okay, you know? So with that being said, he's very lucky that they didn't handle this the way they did. Because if they did, he wouldn't have been drafted. And I'll stick by that.
I
But I
absolutely
do
agree.
believe that athletes, especially certain types of athletes like in football, I do believe that they have a lot of special treatment in the world, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree.